Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the General Show. I hope you're having a good time. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It was a very interesting and informative episode where I basically just speak about anything finance, investments. As my slogan literally says, health, wealth, and investments. You see? So, on today's episode, we'll just be looking at a few things that are happening all around us and the impact they have on us. Because, yeah, we are not one small bubble on planet Earth. There are many facets. Life has nuance, as said by others. So, first things first is Dstv took out an article and then they were like, they're about to lose 2.9 billion rand in revenue for the year. And yeah, there was a lot of uproar and outreach from people, this and that and whatnot, right? So this thing is sort of twofold. Yeah? If you look at it as a consumer for what we're paying, there's no two ways about it. It's not worth it. It's overpriced. It's redundant. How can we be watching Anaconda in 2023? That movie is so old. I literally grew up with it. Primary, high school. Imagine that movie so old. You can't say I'm going to pay X amount of money for that. So there's that. They are redundant. They're not bringing innovation. Yes, they brought in Showmax for as a hard thing, but then why must I pay extra for a service which is supposed to be basic? You're supposed to be entertaining me with your channels of variety. Because what ends up happening in Dstv, if you check, it's mostly Western country content and doesn't even reflect South African realities. So it's like, why is a South African paying for that? And companies like Netflix, they're coming in. They're rearing their heads because they have better costs of subscription, they have better entertainment, they have variety for sure, and they're adapting because Netflix even has South African shows. They're increasing the budget, and as far as I'm being told now, they're having streaming rights, well, which they're bidding for. So imagine now I can watch UEFA on Netflix. That's a game changer. My question is, Dstv has had over 20 years as a monopoly in Southern Africa or Africa as a whole, but then they're not being innovative, and there's no one else to blame but themselves because you literally had a monopoly. You had the chance to grow, to expand, to try new things, but then you're not. You still want to keep with the same business model. And remember, business doesn't wait for anyone. It doesn't care who or and what you are and how big you think you are. You must be like water. If you don't mold to the new form of container that you're in, you're going to be left out and you will sink. There is no other way. So I don't get why Dstv, guys, they have the distribution, they have the channel, they have the history for people. They just lower the prices, increase more fun, inject more funds into innovation and stuff, and I promise you they'll do 50 times more. Because what they're doing is they're setting themselves up for failure. Because in this current climate and economy, people simply just can't afford DSTV. It's not necessarily that everyone's moving to Netflix, but just can't afford it because it's crazy amounts, man. Even if you downgrade and the lowest package literally sucks, man. Oh, but it's their own baby. They will see themselves, and unfortunately the other side of the coin is that people will be unemployed now because the company forced to be downsizing and so forth. So it's a double-edged sword, but it's one that must happen. Hopefully people are able to get better jobs from what they're seeing. Will probably be a capsizing of the company and so forth. So yeah, that's the first thing. But to be fair, as long as there's live soccer, there's live netball, there's live rugby and all of that, I can subscribe to anything which is quality, affordable, and is value for my money, because money now is becoming such a even more precious commodity than it was years ago. So we need to be cognizant of that. You can never be ignorant of such things in life. So yeah, DSTV better shape up or get out of here, because I'm sure there will be many foreign sites which will be coming, and South Africa's market is very consumer based, so South Africans have money to spend for things of entertainment, which is somewhat a bad thing, but yeah, we keep it moving. And then on that note, unfortunately, if not Dstv decides to capsize and stuff, can't be able to watch schoolboy rugby, can't be able to watch netball, can't be able to watch rugby, cricket, golf, all of these sports, but it's literally all their fault because they literally have gotten the Dstv soccer rights. So why aren't they being innovative? Why aren't they doing something different? You see, I can't expect much from SABC because that is, man, it's a political cesspool. Had so much potential. Saudi did his best, literally wanting to pump money for the artists, for South Africans, but due to political affiliations and so forth, one with a vision doesn't necessarily last the longest. That's a problem. Is he was just too ahead of his time, and South African artists weren't even supporting him, but he was literally helping them out, which is, I don't know, it's ignorant, but yeah, you shoot yourself in the foot, you'll feel the pain by yourself, you see. Then there's Open VHD in the country. I don't know much about it. It's the one that houses E, as in ETV, entertainment, and all of that. Not sure how it's performing, but hey man, as long as there's entertainment and stuff, people need to get with the molding of different things and so forth, you see. So yeah, it's that. And on to bigger and brighter, more exciting news. BRICS. Egypt wants to join BRICS. So what they did is they applied for the BRICS Bank first, and then now they actually want to be a part of BRICS. So I don't know, will it be BRICS E or BRICS or whatever? You'll scramble it and it'll be some catchphrase. So that's actually very good because Egypt right now, they're centering themselves for, as far as I know, in Cairo, they're building a, well, city next to Cairo, they're building a very nice city. So they've asked for funding everywhere and they're doing their best to develop it. But from my understanding of geological importance, Egypt is literally at the top of Africa, right? Which means it will be a connect to Euro-Asia, which is very good. Because if they thrive, it means that now Africa is getting a bolstering. Granted, yes, they do have connotations of not wanting to associate with Africa and so forth, but it's still good for the continent because we are putting in money into our systems, you see. And then secondly, the Arabic coalition will just continue growing there, so it's good for the Africans that actually identify as Africans that live in Egypt, you see. But yeah, for BRICS as a whole, it's good. The more the merrier, because we need economic powers so that the West doesn't get cocky and so forth. So if other countries are now forming their own coalitions, it's good. They're able to stand up, and yeah, it's very good for us. And as far as I know, they want to leave the dollar centralization of their debt. So essentially what they're going to do is they're going to be using the Egyptian currency to now start paying off their debt. What that does is it bolsters the economy, and all of their trade partners are able to put an influx of money into the country of Egypt, which is very good. Because remember, BRICS isn't just about globalization. It will also help with many other factors that you will share information amongst citizens. For instance, if I take South Africa's knowledge of the car motor industry, Egypt wants to start their own automotive industry. You take South African skill set, you put it in Egypt, we grow, and so forth and so forth, you see. So those are one of the benefits, and can do the same with all other BRICS countries, but it's endless possibilities for both the countries. And we need that. We need a shift of power for the world, because the oppressors have gotten a bit too comfortable, and we need a change. A revolution is happening at whatever pace it's taking place, but being in the revolution itself is good, because you're able to, at the end of a tunnel, you're able to see how much you grow, how much opportunities there, and then for those who are smart enough and realize the opportunity, they take it at the right time and then go with it, you see. So that's one of the benefits. And then So another interesting thing is Naspers and Process. So basically, these two companies are they're responsible for your DSTVs, your trust companies, and. So they are projecting a 70 to 80% decline in share price for them because of the whole DSTV company, whatever thing collapsing and so forth. Also, besides that, it's all the recession that's taking place. As I've said, it's going to be about 48 months. That's also going to be a problem. So they're projecting a 70 to 80% decline. Obviously, in the markets, it will retrace and then it will start getting better. But then that 70 to 80% means that they literally have to downsize, foreclosure on some parts of their businesses, and then fix here and there, or change the whole business model, or sell certain parts of their businesses. But then if these two companies are seeing such a decline, it's good because new competitors will get into the market, but it's bad for the shareholders. So they're predicting this so that they somewhat mitigate the loss that they'll take. Because if I say I'm going to lose X amount, I've sort of prepared people mentally, and also that gives me the chance that new players will want to come in and want help me. Obviously, they want a certain amount of equity, but then it creates more of a cushion for my fall instead of as it being such a big thing, you see. So that's a benefit, but it's bad for the investors and for the company itself, because unfortunately South Africans or Africans or the employees of Naspers and Process are going to be either lose their jobs or given less pay or whatever form of business rescue that they think needs to take place, you see. So that's one of the things in terms of economically for the world. Hey man, we're in a recession. That's what happens. Businesses take losses. The strong ones rise up and then they fix their business models, and then the weak ones, unfortunately, foreclose and leave the stock exchange of the world. Because these guys trade in Netherlands. For whatever reason that they trade there, I don't know much about that. I can only speculate and say to them it makes business sense to trade in a stronger currency than that of the South African rand, but those are the happenings, you see. But hey man, what can we say? Can we say it's an interesting relationship that's taking place there? And yeah, so I'm not sure if many people know of this. So there's a South African footwear company called Drip. Then Drip is came in, I think, 2019 or so. It's been performing very well. South Africa had its ups, its downs, its growth, and but then now there's been controversy because they opened a kiddies range for Drip, right? It was going to be clothing wear for babies or infants or kids from like 0 to 6 or something like that. So they announced that they're opening a shop. They opened it in Polokwane, and then it's been a year or so, but then now they're announcing that it's closing. How I feel is Drip, it's black owned, or as we're told, we need to allow black businesses to take their losses and their wins. So we can't be hard on them. Many businesses close and open and so forth. Can't be hard on them. What we can do is we support them when given the chance. With this foreclosure, fortunately, jobs were lost, but it's a good learning curve. We hope they're able to give the employees nice packages, which they will be able to cushion themselves in this economic time, or the Drip within the whole as the bigger entity is able to reabsorb them in whatever capacity, and they're able to relaunch for Achilles range. So my comments to them is, guys, go back to your drawing board and do it bigger and better. But then I have sort of questions that with the marketing team, PR, and doing feasibility studies, why would they start in Polokwane? I'm not saying Polokwane doesn't have the buying power. I'm just saying that if you started your company in Joburg, for instance, and it has more branches or stores there, why not start branching out from there rather than moving to a different province? You're not fully tested long enough there, and in terms of the numbers, your numbers aren't numbering, because if you look at the economical impact of Polokwane and Joburg, it's two different things. So why not go where you'd be at an advantage? You see those type of things. Also the advertisements, the rollout of it, it was a bit, I feel it was a bit rushed, because drip, yes, it appeals to the target market of literally almost everyone, but then for kiddies you need to have somewhat garnered the attention, the marketing, and all of these things for you to now penetrate the market. But as I said, was allow black businesses to take their L's and then go fix and support them along the way. It's only a lesson, it's not a loss, but yeah, I wish them to open once again. And okay, interesting fact is Donald Trump apparently was arrested yesterday because he shared confidential information about the United States of America. By the time you're still president of America, I've never seen an American president treated like Trump, where they want to prosecute him. I'm not sure how long this was a whole wait and so forth, but yeah, he's a very controversial American president. Funny enough, one of the best performing presidents for people who don't know. But hey, man, it's a interesting one. I guess everyone will learn. But it's one of those things. You live and you adapt, I guess. And this is, I don't enjoy sharing this, but then I think it's very introspective of us as Africans. We need to hear this. So King Mswati of Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, bought his wives 20 SUVs or Mercedes-Benz vehicles with a value of 50,000 rand for his wives, but according to reports, there are no drugs in the hospitals. And yeah, that doesn't rub me the correct way. He should do better. We don't need to have some big over thing. He should do better for his people, because it's very obnoxious, and it says a lot about you if you are willing to let your people suffer and then your own families aren't succeeding, but then you're being put in a position of power. And yeah, it doesn't sit well with me. He should do better. um yeah, wish Swaziland well as an African country and so forth. And then lastly, apparently, uh, South Africa by 2035 wants to ban all petrol and diesel cars, and they want us to go all full electric. I know there are a number of cars that have hybrids, or they're trying the whole electric thing. My issue is, guys, there's still load shedding. So how are you gonna go electric if you still have load shedding problems? And how are you gonna do the whole EV or electric vehicle garages in the whole country, because we still have a huge infrastructure problem? On top of that, we have a safety problem, crime problem. So how are they going to navigate that? And also the pricing of that, because as far as I've seen, for most people who have electric vehicles, they actually say they're a lot of work, because now you must calculate your miles, you must calculate your next recharge, you must like the mechanics of it. For Africa as a whole, I don't think we're there yet. Even if, granted, they've given us nearly 12 years or so, guys. Hey man, I guess we'll see. But if you have a chance, go get your park, drive it, enjoy it, and because they're saying by 2035, they're going to ban electric vehicles in the country. So hey man, go enjoy your verpa, go verpa it outside. I guess. But yeah, those are the happenings of this lifetime. Yeah, it's one of those things. Besides that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. This is a longer format of a video. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, many more of these to come through. Besides that, please like, comment, share, subscribe.